Welcome back to the annual Melbourne Cup podcast with our tips and preview by the Cast Patrol, the race that stops the nation. You're joined as always by myself, Mick, expert horse racing analyst, Jimmy and Age.
I'm bloody pumped. Jimmy, good to have you back on board.
Don't know about that intro, the expert, but yeah, look, we're going to be covering all the main chances for this year's Melbourne Cup. Looks to be an open race, so it should be good fun.
So not covering all 24 horses
Not
this
all
year?
24, no, just the main chances.
Yeah, probably about 11 or 12, and the rest we don't believe can win. 'Cause
Yeah.
we don't have all day.
No, we don't.
We don't. So it's going to be quick and short. We're going to go through our tips and predictions later on, but we're going to cover the winning chances right about now. But before we get into it, we just want to say the Melbourne Cup, it's a massive race, but there's plenty of races on the actual day itself. So head to our Dabble using the link in our description, or you can use the bio and you can copy all of our bets for Melbourne Cup Day with just one click. It's perfect, you know, when Melbourne Cup Day, it's on a Tuesday always. So you want to sneak off to the
You're at work.
bathroom. Yeah, you want to do a quick
There's not
bet.
much time to do the form, you know.
No. So we put all the form there with our tips, predictions, and anything you need for Melbourne Cup Day to get you winners.
Yeah. So if you're
remember,
joining
sign
Dabble,
up.
use the code Cast Patrol, CASTPATROL. And remember, what are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org. And the best bet is obviously set a deposit limit and know when to stop and just walk away.
Let's kick things off with one of the favourites in the race. Number one, Vauban, trained by Willie Mullins and the jockey William Buick, jumping out of barrier number 11.
Yeah, Vauban, we obviously saw in the race last year where he started favourite, but he probably ran his race before it even started. He obviously was a mess in the yard and, didn't really acclimatise to the hot conditions on the day. Yeah. But he's come back a different horse this prep. Willie Mullins, master trainer over in Europe. He's come back. He's filled out. He looks stronger. He's been competitive in a lot of the group races in Europe in leading up to this. So he's come back a different horse, and I think if he handles the conditions on race day, I think he'll go close.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't sweat like a bullet like last year. Like, there was no excuse in the actual run, but when it hit the straight, he was running backwards. So hopefully he improves.
Are you scared that it's a favourite, $6? You know, favourites genuinely don't always have the best runs in the Melbourne Cup.
They don't, Mick. There's been 163 Melbourne Cups with the favourite only winning 34 times. That's 18%. And 88 Cup favourites have failed to even place. So only 46% have placed.
So do you reckon there's a curse going with it? Or?
Well, he's a favourite, but he's a $6 favourite, so you're getting a good price.
Yeah, he's not like a $3 hot shot.
He started a lot shorter last year, but he's going even better this year, and you're getting $6. So I think like I said, if he handles the conditions come race day, I think he'll go close.
One of the top chances for sure. Next horse, we've got the number 2 Buckaroo, trained by Chris Waller, and the jockey, the Magic Man, Jal Moreira. And you're probably taking the $6.50 odds, so one of the other favourites in the race, and jumping out of barrier 21.
Yeah, Buckaroo, he's probably the pick of the Aussie Brigade, I'd say. Moreira is going to have his work cut out from gate 21. But, yeah, he's absolutely flying this prep. Gelded, obviously come this preparation, he's a different horse. Ran well in the Caulfield Cup. My only query is 3,200 metres.
Yeah. Hasn't ran over 2,400, right?
Yeah, so he's unproven beyond the 2,400. So that's, that you got to take that obviously into consideration.
I feel like watching the Caulfield Cup run, he definitely can run more than 2,400. He got held up until the top of the straight, then he finally got out and he ran down that leader, but it was too late. The leader was long and gone, but he ran home well.
Did run home well, but then you can argue, how strong was that Caulfield Cup this year and going into a Melbourne Cup. So... But look, Waller, master trainer as well, and he's got a good jockey on. But yeah, like I said, gate 21, he's going to have his work cut out. He'll get back. And
I think the Magic Man's a plus. Like, if you're barrier 21, you need the Magic Man to weave through the traffic, get clear air, and hopefully let it down the straight.
Definitely helps having a jockey of his expertise on it. Weird sort of stat. Normally second in the Caulfield Cup means a bit of success. So in the last 4 years, you had Gold Trip come second in the Caulfield Cup, won in 2022.
Yep.
And then in 2019, Vauban Declare came second in the Caulfield Cup and then came first in the Melbourne Cup. So bit of weird omenry there. So
it's definitely it's obviously
it's a good form line.
One of the form lines into the Melbourne Cup. So he's a great chance.
What are the other ones for those listening as they can follow on when we mention like Geelong Cup? Like, what are the other form lines?
Yeah, so you've got obviously the Caulfield Cup, you got the Cox Plate, Geelong Cup, Bendigo Cup, Moonee Valley Cup, and then you've got obviously the European Raiders, the E-Ball has been a strong form one that we've seen
Yeah.
this spring. So, yeah, those are probably the main races that I'll be looking at.
Next, we're going with number 15, Sea King, trained by Harry Eustace and jockey Holly Doyle, jumping out of barrier 1, odds $10 to win.
Yeah, so Sea King's one of those horses that comes through the Bendigo Cup and comes through that strong E-Ball handicap, which is obviously one of the lead-ups into the Melbourne Cup. Look, he dominated in the Bendigo Cup. He's got the perfect gate. Gate 1 will do no work at all. Holly Doyle, lightweight.
50 and a half kilos.
Yeah.
Very
Nothing on board.
Yeah, and he won't use too much petrol from the inside as well. So, yeah, I think he's a great chance. Obviously, one of the English stayers. Distance-wise, probably won't be an issue. A lot of these European horses can run out a strong 3200. So, I just don't know about the Bendigo Cup form line.
Do you think it was a bit weak compared to recent years?
Compared to recent years, it's not probably the race that comes through and wins the Melbourne Cup. So obviously they have to start somewhere, these European horses, and he has that first up run now, and he'll be even fitter come Tuesday. So he's a good chance.
Do you think Holly Doyle can become the second female jockey to win the Melbourne Cup?
Well, 100%. I think she's one of the leading riders over in Europe. Great jockey, and I think she's probably one of her best chances to win another Melbourne Cup for the females.
Like it. Next horse we'll be covering is number 9, Absurde, trained by Willie Mullins and jockey Kieran McAvoy, jumping out of barrier 7, and you can find $10 to win.
Yeah, so Absurd, another one of Willie Mullins' horses. Obviously, we saw him last year in the race. He ran very well last year. He's probably going better this prep, or just as well as he was going last year's. Obviously, mixing his form over the distances and the flats. Some say he's probably just a hurdler, but, whether or not he runs a strong 3200 over the flats, we'll see on Tuesday. But he's got a good jockey on. Like I said, master trainer, good gate, and, we know he's going to run the trip. So he's another one with a great chance.
Yeah, I think so. Like last year came 7th, but obviously had to make up a bit of extra ground. And then it was going okay in the straight, looked a chance, but just tired late.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm hoping this year that maybe he can have a bit more form into the race, and I think last year's run will do it the justice it deserves.
Yeah, and you're getting $10 and $3.30 a place if you're keen on Absurd there.
Yeah.
Next horse is number 12, Okita Soushi, trained by Kieran Ma and jockey Jamie Carr, and you'll find the odds at $18, and it jumps out of barrier 10.
Yeah, Okita Soushi, another one who ran in the race last year, ran 11th, I believe, last year. But look, he's going well this prep. Won the Moonee Valley Cup, obviously one of the key lead-ups.
That was a nice win as well.
Nice, tough win.
Yeah,
nice, tough win. He'll be on speed, and I think he'll give you a good side if you're keen on him. You get a good price, and I'm sure he'll look a winner at some point in the straight.
Couple things I want to touch on here. First, the name Okita Soushi, probably the best name in the race.
Yeah.
I do like that name. And it's a stallion. A stallion's won the Cup 72 times. That's a 44% win rate, whereas geldings have only won 55 times, 33% win rate. So there's a few things leading towards Okita Soushi there.
Yeah.
And Jamie Carr on board, like we touched on with Holidor, can be the second female jockey to win
Yes,
Melbourne
a couple
Cup.
good chances there.
Yeah. Number 13, Onesmoothoperator, trained by Brian Ellison and jockey Craig Williams, jumping out of barrier 12 and $7.50.
Yeah, so Onesmoothoperator obviously comes through the Geelong Cup, who, again, another horse similar to Sea King, comes through the A-Ball handicap where they ran sort of side by side. But yeah, he was dominant in the Geelong Cup, rounded them up from last, kicked away, too good for them.
One easy. But
Yeah.
it was a weakish field,
Yeah,
would you say?
you could probably say weak Geelong Cup, and the favourite in the race, Unusual Suspect, got put out of the race early as well.
Yeah, so that also adds to it.
That adds to that. Drops in weight here, good draw, good jockey, another one with a live chance.
Yeah.
And the name as well, you can see like with Okita Soushi, that's going to be one of the...
That's a good one.
The
Yeah.
nuffy picks
Yeah,
that...
like when people going off names and like numbers.
Yeah.
And it doesn't help that 13 is my birthday as well, and
Oof,
it's a good name.
that's the omen.
You know, this is one I'm leaning towards, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, the next one is number 8, Land Legend, trained by Chris Waller, ridden by a friend of the show, Zach Purden.
Yep.
Jumping out of barrier 18, and you'll find $21 for the odds, which is a decent
Yeah,
price.
good price.
Sorry, Mick.
given
Sorry,
his
don't
form.
interrupt. Did you say Barry 18 there?
Barrier 18.
Sorry, Zachy Purden. This is a bad stat for you. Block your ears if you're listening. You know you're a friend of the show. There's only been one horse to win from barrier 18 ever, which was Very Elegant.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a cursed barrier, but it's not impossible. So that's something to consider if you're getting on Land Legend.
Yeah, Very Elegant was a freak. Don't know how well Land Legend would go against Very Elegant, but all things being equal, Land Legend comes through again, the Caulfield Cup, one of the key lead-ups. Was probably too keen in the run.
Oh, over-raced.
Over-raced.
Had to go early because he couldn't hold on to him.
Yeah, Zach went early, and I thought he stuck on really well. I think he's going to relish getting to Flemington, bigger track, 3,200, right up his alley. And hopefully Zach can get the Melbourne Cup, the race that's sort of the one that, that's he wants to get. He's yet to win. So
Yeah, on the podcast when we had him on a few years ago, it was just he's won a lot. He's won plenty overseas, but he's just like the Melbourne Cup.
That's the one.
It's the cherry on top. It's almost like Messi when he needed that World Cup. It's just that last one.
So he'll be very hungry to win here.
Yeah, and he's got a good chance here in Land Legend, obviously.
53 kilos, do you think that affects his chances at all?
No, I think that's a good weight. 53 should look gate 18, like you said. It's only had the one horse, Very Elegant win from there, but Zach's one of the best in the world. I'm sure he'll have a plan, and I think he'll run well. Land Legend,
you're getting $21 for the win, $6 to place there on Dabble.
Yeah.
Speaking of number 18s, we go to number 18, Interpretation, trained by Kieran Ma, jockey Theo Nugent. Jumping out of barrier 14, and odds you'll find $20 to win, $6 to place.
Yeah, so Interpretation ran very well in this race last year, came 6th in the race, comes through the Geelong Cup where he ran second, obviously behind Onesmoothoperator. Gets a good weight.
It was a strong finish as well.
Yeah, strong finish. And we know he's going to run the trip, 3,200. Lightweight, good draw. I think he's one definitely for the exotics. If you're doing your trifectas, your first fours, I think he's one to definitely throw in.
Yeah, where did he come last year? Like
Sixth.
Fifth, sixth? Yeah, that was it.
6. And he was finding the line as well. So, he can run the trip.
Out of all of Kieran Ma's runners, do you think this is one of its top chances, or do you still think Okita Sushi's still number
Even
one?
St. George is there as well. We'll
Yeah,
touch on
I'll
later.
probably say this is his best chance out of his brigade. Yeah,
Nice.
Like it. Number 14, Zardozi, 4-year-old mare trained by James Cummins, jockey Andrea Azzini.
Yep.
Odds $16 and jumps out of barrier 4, inside gate.
Yeah. So James Cummins is trying to do his old grandfather's trick, running obviously the Saturday before the Cup. So we saw Zardozi run in the Empire Rose yesterday. On Saturday, and she was strong through the line. And we've seen obviously this trick work plenty of times for Bart in the past. God bless his soul. But Zardozi, look, obviously 20 will run the trip, I think. Mixed form this prep was probably a touch disappointing in the Caulfield Cup. Probably wanted to see better from her. But I think, for those that think she won't run the trip, she's a VRC Oaks winner. Obviously back as a 3-year-old, and she's got James coming training her, which is obviously a plus as well.
Would you be leaning towards the place for Zardozi, or do you think maybe it channels the Bart Cummings special and runs Saturday?
I think she can run well. I think she can run well. But yeah, obviously, you're getting good play each way odds, so definitely go each way.
And the exotics as well. Would you chuck her in?
Chuck her in the exotics, drawing a plum draw, gate 4, good jockey on, and she'll run well.
Yeah, another one I'm going to add there. So she's a 4-year-old mare, and we have a little stat here. So 5-year-olds and 4-year-olds have the best record of any age group in the Melbourne Cup, with 89 winners out of 163 starts. So that's a 54% strike rate for 4 and 5-year-olds. So I know last year, 8-year-old without a fight, or 7-year-old at the time. Yeah. Land Legend's also a 5-year-old, so that does work in the favour there. And then we'll touch on the next one. Kovalica's also a 5-year-old, Mick.
Yep. So number 5, Kovalica, trained by Chris Waller, jockey Damien Lane, jumping out of barrier 17, so a bit wide, and odds $23 to win. But Jim, you didn't get $23 when you backed Kovalica the first time.
Yeah, so I've got a bit of a soft spot for Kovalica. I'm on at a big price at 50s, but he's a bit untapped, Kovalica. He's been mixing his distances of late. He's been running sort of over the middle distances. Untried, obviously, over the 3,200, but he was dominant back as a 3-year-old, winning the Queensland Derby. Obviously, albeit he hasn't won since, but he has been running very well. Key thing to note for Kovalica, gets the blinkers on first time in the Cup. So Chris Waller will have him ready to go on Tuesday Damien Lane, obviously one of the top jockeys in Melbourne. Does have a wide draw, but I think, like I said, blinkers on, untried over the distance, but I think he's probably untapped at the distance is probably the word.
So do you think that's the only query you would say maybe that it hasn't been tested, but it has the potential to run that distance?
I think so, yeah. We haven't seen him over 2,500 since the Derby. So I think there's a lot to like about Kovalica. Comes through the Cox Plate where obviously was dominant by Via Sistina, but I thought his run was okay without being great. But I think blinkers is a big plus for him.
And where do you think Barrier 17 is looking to hope to get a sit?
Look, I'd probably say they take their medicine, go back. Probably try and get midfield, get into a sort of the 3-4 wide running line, and then let him rip home late.
Yep,
Another little stat here. Kovalica is carrying 53.5 kilos. The most popular weight carried to victory in the Cup is 53 kilos with 9 wins.
There you go.
So that's a little omen for you there. So
Thank you.
53 is the magic number.
Lovely.
And the final horse we're going to touch on is St. George. Not the Dragons, St. George the horse, trained by Kieran
If
Marr.
it was the Dragons, it's going to come last.
I
Or
know.
close to it.
Close, exactly. So trained by Kieran Marr, jockey Schiller, jumping out of barrier 9, and you'll find $21 to win and $6 to place.
Yeah, so probably wasn't in the race till later this week. Obviously, a few horses come out, so now he's come into the race. Look, he's shown promise. He was desperately unlucky first up in Australia. And then since that, he's probably been touch disappointing. Moonee Valley Cup run was okay without being great. I think 3,200's a plus for him. Lightweight. Like I said, Kieran Marr's a master trainer with these stayers, so I'm sure he'll have them ready to go. And yeah, he's probably one to throw into your exotics as well.
Yeah, he's a stallion. So remember, the stallions won 44% of the time. So that's a positive there.
I don't mind the number 22. Obviously, it holds a bit of omen for some people. Just remember, that's the final horse we've covered. We're going to get into our tips now. So our winner and Roughie predictions. But all the bets that we have mentioned, they're going to be on Dabble. So you can go there, copy, read our write-ups, copy in one click, use a link in the description, sign up using code CastPatrol when signing up to Dabble. So the moment of truth. It's time to pick the winner. So for form guides 2 years ago, Jimmy, you picked the winner in the race.
Gold Trip, yeah.
Gold Trip.
That was
correct.
at like 21s, wasn't
21s,
it? That was a
big
good
price.
tip.
Yeah.
And then in
Good
that
win.
same race, Mick, you picked Without a Fight.
Yes, but I didn't.
And then you didn't pick it last year when it won.
Yeah.
So maybe that's something to sort of carry on.
Yeah.
So I'll kick things off. I'm going to go with the winning horse. Drum roll, please. I'm going Absurde. I'm going with jockey Kieran McAvoy on board. I think we touched on it. It ran well in the cut last year. It came 7th. I think it's gone well this prep, but I think it's gone better than last year. So I think maybe it can do better than 7th. It came first in the Chester Stakes at 2,900. Only query I'm with Jim is it probably has raced too much distance as opposed to 3,200.
Too much jumping.
too much jumping. So, look, I think it's got the cardio, but does it have that turn of foot that some at the 3,200 specialists, like look at last year Without a Fight. It just literally took off and put the
said,
jets
"See you
on.
later." It was game
exactly,
over.
and you could see Absurde just sort of traveling. It was going well around the straight. Did a bit of
Look the winner.
looked to winner, but just wasn't able to stick on. But this year, I think it's going better and be able to handle the trip. So that's my winner, Absurde.
Very nice.
I think
Like
it's
it.
$10 at the minute.
Yes.
Good stuff.
Okay,
I'm going to
Jim.
go the stablemate of Absurd. I'm going to go Vauban. Obviously, we touched on him. Complete forgive last year. Absolutely melted in the yard. Going better this prep. Willie Mullins, master trainer. I think he'll be better for that. Obviously, second time back in Melbourne in terms of acclimatising to the conditions. Good gate. Good jockey. We'll run the trip. No worries. And like I said, if he handles the conditions, I think he'll go close this year.
Very nice, Jim. Very nice. I'm going to go with the horse I picked in the Caulfield Cup. I'm sticking solid.
Yep.
I don't want to get burnt. I'm going Buckaroo. I think it can win me a buck or two. No pun intended. But yeah, I think Buckaroo was a very strong run in the Caulfield Cup. It didn't get out as early as I liked it, and the leader was already gone. And then once it got out, it travelled well. It was definitely the best run home. I think the only queries are obviously the distance, 3,200. Can it run that extra 600 metres? Oh, no, it's more, 800 metres.
Yeah.
And the barrier, obviously, barrier 21. But the Magic Man, I have full trust in João Moreira.
Yep.
Like it.
Like it. So that's our winners. They're going to be on double reminder with our write-ups, each to their own respective horse.
Yeah.
Now for the roughie. I feel like this is a bit of value time, but also I'm not going to blame you if you get it wrong because it's the Roughie.
It's a throw at the stumps.
And
right?
I'm going as rough as they come. I'm going number 20, mostly cloudy, jumping at a barrier 16. One that we didn't touch on, 91 to 1.
Wow.
19 a place. So, look, I was looking at Roughies and I always like to do something a bit over the odds just to...
Yeah, you've gone rough.
I want to go rough. I don't like going something midfield and calling a Roughie. So
There's no doubt that's definitely a roughie.
I like the fact it matched motors with Duke de Sessa 3 runs back. And we obviously know what Duke de Sessa's gone on to do. It's travelling all right this prep, 4 runs in the top 4. Last start just didn't handle the soft track. I think Tuesday looks a bit warmer, so it might be a bit
I
firmer
think it's good
for
conditions on Tuesday.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it prefers a long
You never
distance.
know. In Melbourne, it
firmer
might
track.
bloody rain. You never know.
You don't know. It's to be fair, Sydney weather's been just as unpredictable.
Yeah.
I think the price probably reflects how it's sort of going. I mean, it's going good, but probably needs a significant
Needs
turnaround.
to find a few links. I
Yeah,
think.
it needs to really do something.
Yeah.
It's almost like, in the NRL off season when they go, he's been training the house down. My
Yeah.
horse needs to start training the house down this week.
Yeah.
Strong staying credentials, but poor run in the bar coming. So mostly cloudy. You're my Roughie. Yeah, not much more to be said.
How much confidence, Mick?
Look, probably a 3 out of 10. But if I have to go rough, I'll go that.
Are you going to put in your tries?
I think I'm going to go each way, but more on the place and
Yeah.
just sort of see. But yeah, I like the exotics.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think my roughie, I touched on him before. Kovalica, obviously, I'm already on at a big price, but yeah, gets the blinkers on. Chris Waller, Damien Lane.
Beautiful. Sean Sweet.
Yep.
My roughie, I'm going with Warp Speed, the Japanese horse. I'm going to forgive the Caulfield Cut run. There was something wrong there. Just don't look into it too much. Barrier 3, good draw. It can definitely run the trip.
Yep.
Also, another omen. I'm big into my omens. It's wearing the saddle, number 4. And the number 4 has won the most wins in the cut with 13. And the last win was in 2021. So there you go. If you're into your superstitions and omens, number 4 has won the most times in the Melbourne Cup. Warp Speed. Let's go.
Perfect.
$26.
Well, that's all for the Melbourne Cup podcast with our tips and predictions. Just to
Yeah.
recap, winning horses, Mick is going Absurde, Jimmy is going Vauban, Age is going Buckaroo. For the Roughies, I'm going mostly cloudy, Jimmy's going Kovalica, and Age is going Warp Speed. These tips will all be on Dabble with respective write-ups.
There's going to be
Sign up.
more than just this tips.
Yeah.
There's going to be tips for the whole day.
Whole
Yeah.
day. 'Cause
So,
it's a
yeah.
big day. Jim, where are they racing at? They're going Flemington.
Well, you got the big dance at Randwick. You got racing all over the country. So
Yeah.
big
And
day
our
of
tips
racing.
will be up early, so you can get on them. Sign up. We'll link in the bio using the code Cast Patrol.
Yep.
And then, it's just enter the code and you follow us straight away. The tips are there at your disposal. Free of charge.
And remember, the best bet of the day is to set a deposit limit and know when to walk away. So what are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. Anything else to add, boys, before we wrap up another Melbourne Cup special?
No, good luck with all your tips on the day. And hopefully we found a winner for you.
Yeah, hopefully we steered you in the right direction. You
Yep.
know, that's what we're here for. But hopefully we get the winner as well. I think that's what
That'd be nice.
everyone loves a winner.
That'd be nice.
Fingers crossed, hopefully Buckaroo.
Perfect. Well, enjoy your Melbourne Cup. That's all from me.
That's all from me.
That's all from me. See
See
you
you
guys.
guys.